David Katz is a criminal defense attorney, also a former assistant U.S. attorney, and he is with us from Los Angeles. David, it's been a while, so thanks for coming in.
Great to be with you.
Okay, Judge Amy Jackson, she was having none of it. She eviscerated Roger Stone, pointedly telling him this: I want to be clear. Today I gave you a second chance, but this is not baseball. There will not be a third chance. I have serious doubts whether you've learned any lesson at all. If Stone has not learned a lesson and defies that gag order, which, you know, it does seem so likely, what happens to him then?
Well, this was very self-destructive conduct, even by someone who seems to perhaps want to be a martyr in some ways or seems to suffer from a lot of hubris. But if he violates this order, the judge can lock him up. And this same judge is the one who locked up Manafort. The reason Manafort got locked up without bail or had his bail revoked was because he tampered with witnesses and obstructed justice. Manafort, while he was in front of this very judge. Here's Stone in front of the same judge, and he puts her on his Twitter feed in the crosshairs. That was a terribly stupid thing to do. He admitted it was stupid today, and really, his attorney should have made sure he didn't do something like that. I'm sure he's a very difficult client to control, but this is a terrible situation. He used to be able to talk about the case, and now he can't even talk about his own case. He had a limited gag order. Now he has a full gag order.
And he was one of the most outspoken defenders of the president, and now he has been muzzled. What was interesting, though, the same day he posted the offending image on Instagram, Stone and his lawyers filed what they called notice of apology on his docket. It read, please inform the court that the photograph and the comment today were inappropriate and should not have been posted. I had no intention of disrespecting the court and humbly apologize for the transgression. Have you ever seen a notice of apology before?
No, I've never seen anything like that. But, of course, with all the clients that I've had, and some of them have fought the government, but there's a proper way to do it. And some clients even decide to talk about their case. But usually, John, that's a very foolish strategy. However, you know, there was the famous case of O.J. Simpson, the civil trial out here, where you remember that after the circus of the criminal trial, where everybody was holding press conferences on the courthouse steps, the civil judge imposed a gag order. That gag order was limited. And, you know, I'm a big believer in the First Amendment. It's very important. Someone's presumed innocent. They ought to be able to talk about their trial and what's going on if they want to. And Stone had that right, which he gave up with that self-destructive tweet. So all he can do now is try to solicit money. He can solicit donations. He's allowed to do that. And, of course, other people like Rush Limbaugh can tell his story of what a victim he supposedly is. But he cannot even, if he's caught, to use the word colluding with anybody to put out a story, he's going right back to jail with his bail revoked, John.
Yeah, what was interesting is that during the hearing, the judge told Stone, thanks for the apology, but it rings quite hollow. That kind of suggests that, you know, Stone's reputation as a liar and a dirty trickster, you know, may have finally caught up with him and doing him no favors. I want to read you what...
Well, the good news for him is that this judge will not try the facts. You know, he will have a jury trial. I'm sure the judge will ensure he has a fair jury trial. So the people who say that the judge thinks he's a liar, even if that's what she thinks, if he's a good boy from now on and obeys the full gag order, she won't be the one trying the facts. This is the guy who should have taken the Fifth Amendment way back when he testified before the Congress. Why didn't he take the Fifth Amendment?
Because he can't help himself. This is a guy who just has, I think, has no self-discipline. Very quickly, CNN's Chris Cillizza had a very interesting take on Stone's rather bizarre behavior. This is what he writes. What Stone doesn't get is that he isn't running a political campaign anymore. He's in the legal fight of his life, and the rules of the law are a lot different than the rules of politics. The rules of politics are, generally speaking, that there are no rules. It's a bit like Fight Club. That could also apply to a lot of those you know, who are close to Donald Trump, who've been caught up in the Russia investigation. They seem to be fighting a PR battle and not a legal strategy.
Well, you've got to think that, like Manafort, Stone hopes that his deliverance will be a presidential pardon. And Stone may not have state problems. You know, if Manafort got a pardon, he'd still have major problems with the state. Stone may not have problems with any state attorneys general. But you know what? At the end of the day, I think it's a big fake out by President Trump. I don't think he's going to give Stone a pardon. He's going to think, why do I want to be near this trickster? At the end of the day, he'll throw Stone under the bus and won't give him a pardon.
We're out of time, David, but just a very quick reminder before we let this go. Stone joins Paul Manafort, Michael Cohen, Michael Flynn, Rick Gates, and George Papadopoulos, all Trump associates who've been indicted. Some have pleaded guilty, some have been found guilty, others are waiting for their day in court. David, as always, thanks so much.
Great to be with you.